let's kind of embrace that right now as far as Hilaria goes, because we can really sort of get into the mind of Hilaria, which is, of course, our topic. Alec is tangential. We're talking about the trial because she's married to him, but she's the focus of our fascination and a case study. Now, we may be revealing our problems with women by talking about her, and that, I think, is useful too, because the young generation, like my daughter, they're smarter than every generation that came before them, and they will have a lot to say about probably the misogyny that we're perpetrating, perhaps, in this. What are your thoughts on that, Scotty? That we may be doing more harm than good discussing our fascination with this case study in what you might call the dark triad of personality disorders, which we don't believe in.
You threw me off with the last part, but I think.
Well, everybody's different.
Yes, everybody's different.
And
yeah.
labels can be harmful, especially when we're talking about mental
Sure.
health.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So.
What do you think her problem is? I think she's an abused woman. There's no doubt that Alec is a violent misogynist.
I mean, yeah, if nothing else, he has shown his history is of at least verbal abuse, at the very least, right? And was there something with Kim Basinger where there was something, I can't remember exactly what it was. Can you?
He called his daughter a thoughtless little pig
Oh,
when she
Ireland,
was 11,
yeah.
and his wife presumably released. Well, we don't have to have legal speak here, but she obviously released the voicemail. Who
Yeah,
else
that's
would
right.
have?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to say presumably.
No, presumably. I mean, she released it. Yeah. I mean, we all heard it.
Kim Basinger, if you're listening, I guess you can sue us. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Now we have to pay her legal bills. But I have a feeling she's going to be on our side. What is our side? We don't know. Our side is for the people. We love everybody.
That's right. No, but I mean, it was clear if he was going to do that, leave that kind of voicemail for his 11-year-old daughter. I mean,
would it have been okay if she were 12?
I'm saying that if he feels okay talking like that to her, he's going to feel fine talking to his wife, even worse, probably, right? So that was where I was going with that. So, I mean, yeah, I have no doubt that he's abusive, at least verbally, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a Hollywood scumbag. Mm-hmm. And men in Hollywood perpetrate violence against women. It's their business. They perpetrate gun violence. They perpetrate the toxic patriarchy and classist, ableist. I mean, everything that is wrong with the United States. And he reflects the white cis male patriarchy better than just about anybody. And so far as it's inherently abusive to women and children. The fact that her internalized misogyny makes her perpetrate against her own children, it's going to be a problem for the kids. It's already a problem for the kids because she seems to enjoy humiliating them the same way that she seems to enjoy humiliating Alec. And if she has resentment, or I would say she clearly has resentment against her own family, and maybe essentially being powerless, that she needs to get out. As an abused woman, she needs to get out for the sake of her kids.
Yeah. Okay.
It takes on average 6 or 7 times for an abused woman to leave her partner, her abusive partner. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
What are your thoughts on women in that situation?
My thoughts on women in that situation, I mean, in general,
How they can
it's,
get out, or how bad you think it is, or what are some of the consequences? They can be lethal.
yeah, no, I mean, they could absolutely be lethal. And, right. And, you know, a lot of the time, the, they stay for a lot of different reasons. You know, sometimes it's, sometimes financial, and they just can't, you know, don't feel that they can, make it on their own. And so they're kind of, you know, feel trapped in that.
Do you think that's the case with Ilaria?
I don't think that's exactly the case, but I think the fact that there is, I think she would be okay. You know, I mean, I think she would make it. She would get plenty of alimony, whatever, if she
I
left him.
believe she
But
has a strict prenup, is my guess.
oh no, I'm sure she does. I mean, there's no telling what
I believe
it was, but I'm sure
they
he
had a business arrangement where she was
no,
going to give him
yeah, for no
legitimacy as a family man and give him some kids and rehabilitate his image so that he could have a political future, which, by the way, he would be perfect in politics. Those
Yeah.
people are terrible.
Well, maybe if Biden steps aside, he can step in.
Yeah, Biden, if you're listening, and I think he is, go to bed. You need a nap. AOC, if you're listening, step up, please. Who was our vice presidential pick? It was AOC and... Oh, was it Jon Stewart or John Oliver? What was our ticket? Was it AOC, Jon Stewart, John Oliver? Either one is fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, thank you so much for listening. This has been really fun. I've learned a lot. Thank you, Scotty. Do you have any parting words?
I'm just, I'm looking forward to finding out what happens next. On, you know, a lot of fronts, obviously, what might happen down the road with possible, you know, maybe there's a civil trial, maybe there's maybe it's just a lot of content for the show, you know, who knows what will end up happening, but it's, you know, it's kind of a, you know, it's a tragic thing that happened, and it is the fact that there was no verdict. You kind of feel like maybe you didn't really get justice here. But I think you had brought up the point that he wasn't found not guilty either. You know, he wasn't exonerated exactly. I mean, he kind of got off on a technicality, right?
Yeah, someone had brought that up in the Reddit sub.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know I'd seen that somewhere, so... I mean, I guess there's that, but... Otherwise, it's kind of like, well... It's kind of a shame, but what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, speaking everything that you said, thank you. That needed to be said. As far as the Reddit sub goes, it's been said that it's good that there's a public record kept there. But unfortunately, the person who runs that sub has mentioned recently that Reddit has been trying to shut the sub down because of the way that members of the public have been talking about the children, making comments about their physical appearance.
Oh, have they? I didn't... I was not aware of that.
And the reason given that the sub has not been shut down by Reddit is because the sub moderators have agreed to limit those comments and just do a more kind, considerate thoughtful job of moderating on behalf of the kids that are already being sexualized, exploited, humiliated by their mom and their dad. So I'm really happy to see that the moderators are stepping up to protect the kids from having comments made about them physically or even their personalities, because they're just kids.
Yeah.
And certainly having any kind of pictures of them, that's exploitation. So people would disagree about that, but certainly we don't want to perpetuate any more exploitation by showing the pictures of the children. And certainly that sub can do well not to have pictures of the kids. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That was a good point.
You'll play us out, I guess?
Sure. Let's see. We love you, Hilaria.
Take care.